Hello and welcome everyone to another episode of Study of X. I am your host, Tim, and this is an X-Men podcast where we chronologically cover the Krakoa era of X-Men comics. Joining me as always is Chris and Sergio.
Hi, hello.
Did you know that Brazil has the most endangered bird species in all of the world?
Wow, I did not.
How that's going to tie in today, we're going to find out pretty soon.
I cannot wait to find out.
So, we got the, we're back in the Hickman arc section of New Mutants. How do we feel about that? Good change of pace?
I don't know. Was he out on vacations or something? I don't understand why they just didn't make the other, thread its own thing. I guess it isn't as big as anything else happening on any of the other series we're reading, but they could have made like a one-off or something.
Yeah.
Did they just need to fill for time? Was he ill?
Yeah, I'm honestly not sure because he's also, writing the mainline X-Men book. So I'm not sure why it's structured this way and why they didn't just, do this in the first chunk of the book before going in the other direction. But yeah, this is how it is. So after this, just to kind of talk about the structure, because it's going to be a little bit weird, issue 6 of New Mutants will be back at the arc that we were at. We're going back to the farm. Issue 7 will be the conclusion of Hickman's little mini run on this book.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I don't mind. It's just a little bit weird.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It is a little bit odd, especially because, at least when these first came out, there were pretty big gaps in between everything. So with the last arc that we were still on, you had to wait maybe 3-4 weeks until you saw the next part, and then in between that, you went back to Hickman. So I usually found myself having to end up going back and rereading what happened, because by that point, I don't remember.
Sure. I was kind of expecting them to be somewhat related, but no, there just seem to be two completely different stories featuring New Mutants, I guess.
Yeah. Well, funny enough, so usually the books would have like a month between every issue, and with our schedule, we're pretty much experiencing that.
Mm-hmm. We have a decent gap between recordings, so it is some time between them.
Yeah.
I feel like we're a bit faster, which kind of helps, but yeah, we're still waiting a bit, which I have gone back and reread my own notes on some earlier issues to be like, okay, what happened again? What was that they're talking about?
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, I agree. A lot of times I'll have to, go back on the notes just to see, was this plot thread hinted at earlier, or is this, a new thing we're bringing up? But, I don't know, for the most part, I do think our schedule's been pretty good to us in terms of what we're doing. I think taking notes helps you kind of remember stuff as well.
Yeah, I'm, as a new reader, happy with the pace we've been keeping.
Right.
Okay, that's good.
Gives me enough time to digest everything. Plus, we got the courtesy of a pretty hefty summary here in this issue, kind of foregoing the usual paragraph summary that we get at the beginning of every issue, going instead for a full page summary of everything that's happened so far. Multiple pages, in fact.
Yeah.
Yes, it's really, really fun from Sunspot, again, who I have fallen in love with over this run, just because he's written so well. You can clearly see who he is as a person. But you know what? Do we want to jump into it?
Yeah, let's get into it a little bit. I feel like we should talk about the cover of this issue.
Yes, the cover's really good. It is Deathbird punching Cannonball and holding sunspots. And it's very striking, really nice, vibrant colors. I love it.
Yeah. It's also, not what's going to happen in this issue.
No, not at all.
Just like that other one where we saw Scott on a dinosaur. It's the same thing here. It looks cool. Really isn't that related.
Yep.
What's fun is maybe it did happen, because there's quite a gap of time between what happened in the previous issue and this, where we pick up from.
Oh, that's true. So this could have happened off-screen, which I would also believe, given how Sunspot treats Deathbird.
Yeah, the previous issues ending did definitely hint at like an upcoming confrontation, so I was surprised coming in that we didn't find ourselves in the same like lair where they found Deathbird ready to throw down.
Yeah, we kind of have a really interesting jump that skips over a couple of pieces. But we're going to get to that. So to open this up, we are on New Mutants number 5, Endangered Birds. It is written by Jonathan Hickman and is released in January of 2020. Like we had talked about, we're opening up with another wonderful summary by Sunspot about everything that has happened so far in this story arc, written from his wonderful point of view to explain everything that has happened.
We are reminded of the very charming space lawyer.
He was fired.
Yes, he was charming.
Unjustly.
Yeah, that's really just... He did his best.
He did his best. No one could have done any better.
I feel like they probably could have gotten a better lawyer.
I don't...
I disagree.
He was just doing his job. Like,
Alright, next time you guys commit space crimes, I will give you his number.
Good.
And then tell me how it goes.
I'm sure...
I will place my destiny in his hands in a second.
Anyway, this narration's really fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just, it's more of Sunspot being very full of himself, but again, in that weirdly endearing kind of way where he comes across very charming. Like he says here where he is very, very rich, and instead of actually doing it to solve problems like world hunger, he's buying his god nephew a bunch of gifts.
I absolutely love this panel, by the way. It's Sunspot just sitting cross-legged, handing a gift to Sam's very happy child, while Sam and Izzy just look on, annoyed.
Mm-hmm. He would be the uncle that would give the child a toy that makes noise.
Oh, yeah.
Which I've been told by everybody, do not do that. If you're going to give a small child a toy, make sure it doesn't make noise.
Oh, no. You gotta find the most obnoxious toy you can get, load that sucker up with fresh batteries, and let them run loose.
Hey, good luck. Pat your friend on the shoulder and be like, all right, I gotta go home. You have fun with this noise.
Make sure you give them a demo so they know how to use it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We then have some fun also where Sunspot says that Deathbird, who looks like a bird, is kind of an interest for him because he likes to protect birds, and this bird is very, very pretty from his point of view.
This bird has legs.
Yeah. Nice legs, not bird legs. Sam's on a program.
No, those are legs for days.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sure that's going to go well, because I don't think falling for somebody named Deathbird ever goes badly.
This is the X-Men.
Hey, you're not even wrong at that point.
Yeah, just shoot your shot.
Yeah. Like,
go for it.
Beak exists. He's also in this run.
This is true, and he is married and has kids.
Yeah.
So, there's someone for everyone.
You know who has chicken legs? Beak.
Who? Yes. Literally.
But yeah, so did you know that Brazil has the highest number of endangered bird species of any country on Earth?
I did not, but now I do.
Really? Because you told us earlier.
See, I was joking. I was like, I'm just going to make up a fact and see if they realize it.
And you coincidentally hit on an actual one?
Yeah, wow.
Yes.
Nuts.
Confidence will get you far.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah. But yeah, so after our summary, we get the actual summary, which is just kind of a one-sentence thing, which is kind of funny.
Mm-hmm. And it's accurate. Space jail, space war, and space romance.
New Mutants.
That's what's happening.
Yep. So we get into the actual issue.
Mm-hmm. And back on Chandalar, the Shi'ar throne world, we have our friend Super Guardian here, who has accepted advice that they should probably silence communication so nobody figures out what's going on. Which seems like a good idea until we find out one of the advisors is backstabbing everybody and has hired Shi'ar death commandos to go and kill Deathbird and crew.
Yeah, this is Oracle who So Gladiator is this guy that decides to silence the communications. Oracle and Mentor are the advisor, and these were the people they kind of talked about in the previous issue, having the opposing ideologies.
I really like the colorful crew of bad guys that she hires.
Yeah, so they're the Death Commandos. I think they're official like force for Shi'ar, but yeah, we get little descriptions for all of them.
Mm-hmm. And they're really fun. Personally, I think my favorite is the Birdman, who just has the head of an eagle and bird wings, and then he's just a normal guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a lot in here that's real good. I'm a fan of Flaw not wanting to eat solid food for ethical reasons, and then we get to Devo over here, who does not eat solid food, but not for ethical reasons.
Mm-hmm. It's this very specific Hickman style of humor that he does, and it really comes through in New Mutants. I don't think it's really come through in anything else he's written that we've read, but he really has like a very subtle way of telling his jokes that I really like.
Yeah, like the description for Offset is like they're, subterranean species of mantis, like insectoids with 6 limbs, and you have all this big old paragraph talking about how deadly this alien is, and then you get to the last sentence and it's Offset has terrible breath.
Mm-hmm. Because we need to know that about our Death Commandos.
Shout out to Sega. Sega's a coward and in a fight cannot be depended upon.
Yes, and is also a gaseous cloud, which I feel like is reference to the fact that their text is lighter, or maybe it's the fact that they're a coward. Either way, I like it.
Yeah, it's good stuff. I like all these. Excited to see more of them in the future. We'll see how well they do here.
Yeah, I'm sure they're going to do well. And also to note, they've actually been around for a minute. They were created originally in Uncanny X-Men in 2005.
Wow.
So they've been in the background a little bit.
Was it, is this a different group? Because they did mention, like, Black Cloak as a constant here, so I kind of wonder if that was,
They did have a couple of different members, because at that point, they were sent to kill everybody with the gray genome, so anybody related to Jean Grey. You can imagine how that went.
Yeah.
Not well. But after this, a day later, we are back on the ship where Mondo and Chamber are having a moment to chat, agreeing that there's a lot going on and they really didn't know they were signing up for this.
Yeah, I kind of like this. These two were kind of like the odd two out on this group. Like, they just weren't really in this New Mutants team that all these people are from. So them just being like, yeah, this stuff's pretty crazy, right, is kind of, yeah, I don't know. It's grounding in a way that I think is pretty good.
Yeah, that's how I would put it. It's just a good way to ground the characters, because I think we even noticed this a couple of issues ago, too, where we're like, hey, these two don't really say much or get along with the others. So it's nice to see that actually acknowledged.
Yeah.
I'm glad they have each other.
Also...
I am, too.
I like that Mondo doesn't like Doug. I feel like that makes sense after that Krakoa nonsense that happened in the first issue.
Yeah, I don't blame him at all. Like, if somebody saying that they were my friend came to me and was like, hey, can you try this really weird, highly uncomfortable thing where you try and be a body for the island? Let me know how it goes.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, these kids are still being menaces, and Sunspot decides it's a good time to try to hit on Deathbird.
Mm-hmm. Although I do like the framing of this, where it is Cannonball and Sunspot talking to each other and arguing, and then Cannonball's wife comes in and is like, all right, what are you trying to do? And he's like, I'm gonna go talk to the hot bird lady.
Yeah, it's funny. Sunspot really wants to do this, respect single moms.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And just using everything in his book to be like, look, I'm going to do this. Here's how I'm justifying doing this. And, well, he does. He goes up and talks to her. And a bit awkward, but he actually is able to turn it around pretty quickly to his benefit, where he introduces himself fully, and then she ends up introducing herself as well. And in a fun moment of air quotes humility, he thanks her that she does not find him interesting for his money, but his looks.
Yeah, he starts off saying how rich he is. She fires back saying how wealthy she is, and he's just like, oh, wow. Glad you don't like me for my money. I don't know. It works well.
He's extremely confident in, again, a very charming way.
Yeah, I kind of hate him, but he's funny.
Yeah, I agree. Like, he sucks, but it is endearing.
It is. Yeah, that's kind of how I would put him. I'm like, you kind of seem like you're maybe a bad person, but yet you're a good person at the same time. It's very confusing.
Yeah, if it wasn't because of the creepy twins from the other thread of the story, this would be my most unlikable character in this run.
Yeah.
Poor Sunspot, or good Sunspot, depends on how you look at it.
Yeah, it works.
It does. That's the thing, is it totally works, and you can tell this is the way he is supposed to be written. It's not like, oh, they're trying to make a good character and he comes off poorly. It's, no, we're writing a character that you probably shouldn't like that much.
Yeah. Like, he's an arrogant but charming asshole. Like, that's just what he is.
Yeah.
So, and I'm sure things are gonna go well, despite the fact that the ship has gone through a massive space gate, and they are immediately jammed by an Imperial death knot.
Yep,
which is a big ship.
A big, very good-looking ship. It reminds me a lot of Mass Effect, actually.
Sure, I can see that.
And then we see a bit of the inside of the ship, which looks incredibly evil, even with red lighting everywhere. And Black Cloak here gives the order to split the crews up, have one go in officially and one go in unofficially, while they also train a massive gun on the ship, just in case things go poorly.
Yep. So yeah, the New Mutants catch wind that bad things are probably about to happen, and Magic decides she's gonna take charge now.
Mm-hmm. But before that, Doug, being the rascal that he is, ends up talking to the ship even though they told him not to, and he immediately is able to break the code and the comms jamming, there you go, and is able to learn of this entire plan that the Death Commandos are putting together.
Yeah, I really like Magic's commands here, like taking charge of the situation.
Yeah, she immediately has a game plan and is going to execute it.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. I also like it. I'm glad somebody jumped in and was like, hey, this is what we're doing. You do this, I'm gonna do this. It's really good. It's nice and refreshing, honestly. I mean, everybody so far has been a very confident person and they know what they're doing, but Magic especially.
Yeah, I think it's a far cry from the situation that put them in jail.
Yes, where they weren't too sure what they were doing and kind of bumbled their way into it.
Yeah, I like this a whole lot more.
Yeah, so they're gonna have Danny and Rain go to one of the docking bay to handle the boarding party. They're going to have Karma get Mondo and Chamber to meet them there, and Magic's going to handle the other one by themselves.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? Oddly enough, I fully believe she can do that.
I don't know why you would think that.
What, that she can handle that all by herself?
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know.
I mean, we'll see. I'm sure things will go well, but you never know. And we go back to Mondo and Chamber still having their buddy chats. And they are informed that they should go meet everybody at one of the docking bays, but decide they've had enough adventure and excitement, so they're just going to relax and have a couple of drinks.
Uh-huh. Yeah, they have this huge glass window overlooking space. It's nice.
Yeah, with a giant ship looming.
I mean, there's that detail, sure.
More of a minor detail, you know.
This thing looks angry, by the way. It's like a T-Rex.
It really is. It's very imposing. They did a very good job with it, but I do like the contrast of Mondo and Chamber just being like, yeah, I think we're good. This is enough adventure. We're just gonna relax.
Yeah, it's good. Our next page, we got one of the boarding parties coming in. This is Flaw, Hypernova, and Offset, I believe.
Yes, you are correct.
And
so they are the ones that are going to secretly infiltrate the base, but Magic catches up with them immediately and has a very specific question for all of them. Do each of them want to make out with her?
Yeah, Flaw isn't interested. Offset doesn't think she has enough arms, and Hypernova is doesn't want to while she's working.
But in any other circumstance, probably.
After confirming they are not human, Magic goes to work, and the next page is D-Evo talking about how everyone's dead from that boarding party.
Just very quickly, like, oh, they're gone.
I want to make a quick pause to think about how the X-Men didn't establish a rule for like sentient beings, just humans.
Yeah,
it strikes me as weird considering they're well aware of other sentient beings being out there in the universe. So is this just like a weird gray area regarding their own laws?
Yeah, it is definitely a little odd when you think about it like that. I guess other sentient beings don't really have the same baggage as like the mutant human kind of issue, but yeah, it's odd that it's okay to kill a Kree, for example, but not.
Yeah, didn't we learn a couple of issues ago that Xavier has an alien daughter or half alien?
Yeah,
wouldn't he want to like protect her as well? Hey, maybe do not kill sentient aliens either.
You imagine that should have been a talking point, but there's the argument that mutants are very Earth-centric, at least for the majority of X-Men, so it's an instance of nobody thought about it, so nobody made it a rule, which is not a good excuse at all.
No, I'm saying they maybe kind of rushed into their little laws.
Yeah, because if the issues behind killing humans are humans can't come back to life, why would aliens be an exception then?
Yeah, especially because I'm fairly certain most of these aliens cannot come back to life.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Offset probably does not get revived here.
No. No, not at all.
Yeah, lots of gray spaces here. Still not super enthralled by the idea of the council being any good.
It's almost like they're just there to be a show of power.
Meanwhile, we go back to the other battle, where things are not going well for the other boarding party either. It looks like two of them are already down, and poor, what is this guy's name?
Shell? You mean the rock?
Shell, yes, rock person.
Yeah, his name is Shell.
Yeah, Crate is being attacked by arrows. Looks like Warshot is down. And yeah, Shell is being commanded to punch himself over and over again by Karma.
Crate looks like a Dark Souls main character after like being attacked by arrows.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
But yeah, Shell goes down, but not before being told to give Karma a compliment.
And a nice compliment, I would say. Her skin is too soft, but he likes her shiny leg.
And yeah, Shell is out.
I do like her victory pose.
Me too.
Yeah,
it's
really good. This is probably one of my favorite pieces of art in the issue. It's a great panel. I like it looks like almost like circles that are going toward one of Shell's eyes as he's falling down too.
Yeah, there's a lot of good energy in this, like, few fight panels that we get.
Yeah. It's like a very short fight for, like, all of this is I feel like you could barely call it a fight. The New Mutants just very quickly just root these dudes, but yeah, it's a lot of fun with how this played out. D-Evo realizes everyone's down, asks if he can just blow up the ship. Black Cloak says yes, and now the ship has a giant hole in it, and Mondo and Chamber, among others, are now floating in the vacuum of space.
Oh no.
I'm sure that's fine. I'm sure everybody's gonna be okay. It's a good thing we have a nice narration here that essentially says the same thing and ends with, well, see you next month.
Uh-huh. Well, we'll have to wait another month.
Yeah. Except we're going back to the other plot lines, so maybe a little bit longer.
Oops.
No.
So, I'm sure everything is going to be fine in space, you know? Mondo and Chamber can come back eventually.
Yeah.
Although Shi'ar, though, no, they're dead. I have no other way to say that. Poor guys.
Yeah, nice issue here. Pretty straightforward. I'm surprised we got as much out of it as we did. But I did enjoy it. It was good.
Yeah, no, I like the more grounding of other characters, so everybody kind of gets a bit of a spotlight. This is actually the issue where I was more interested in Magic as a character, because when I started reading this, I didn't know anything about her. And after reading this issue, I went to Tim and a couple other friends, and I was like, give me everything you have on Magic. I want to know who she is.
I like when the people I read about are portrayed as competent and not, like you said before, like bumbling their way through the story. And this one does a good job of that. I feel like I had a kind of a love-hate relationship with the New Mutants before, and I kind of still do, especially with Sunspot. But them being like proficient and tactical and thinking through what they're doing and executing on it feels good. Make me feels good as a reader.
Yes, I certainly feel like there's a place for brand new team trying to figure out what they're doing. And if you like those kind of stories, you know, you're going to find plenty. But it is nice to see a group that clearly knows how to work together, clearly has strategy, and just goes for it. There's no questioning it, there's no arguing. They're just like, all right, we're going to go.
Yeah. Like, kind of also like this as Hickman's kind of outlet for his more comedic writing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really do feel like this was almost kind of like a, hey, I kind of want to do some comedy stuff too. Can I do a bit of New Mutants? Well, I'm going to say he probably didn't ask for it. I think he's just in charge of this whole thing. But yeah, it feels like X-Men is more of a serious side for him, as well as like what House of X and Powers of X were. Where this is him just, let me play with Sunspot for a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And hey, well deserved, and it's been fun too, so I'm glad he got the chance to do it.
Yeah. I mean, it's no Fallen Angels, but it's okay.
Yeah.
True, it is no Fallen Angels. I don't know if anybody can reach that kind of a height.
Yeah. Well, maybe X-Force can.
That's true, maybe X-Force number 5, which, are you two ready to move on to it?
Sure.
Yeah, let's find out.
Alright, so X-Force number 5, Necessary Force, is written by Benjamin Percy and was also released in January of 2020. We are opening back up immediately where we left off with Wolverine's bisected body in San Francisco, as a bunch of mercenaries are ransacking this, what would it be? Pharmaceutical drug testing facility?
Yeah, it's something along those effects. The humans are working here, I remember that. Yeah, so Wolverine's bisected body with poor Kid Omega's head around here. Wolverine, in true Wolverine fashion, is still alive.
Uh-huh. Before we get too far in, I just wanted to highlight the cover. I really like this one.
Yeah, Forge just hanging out with a mech behind him with this, like, plant gun. And, like,
in front of his bug plant mech.
Yeah, with, like, all these, like, guns on the ground that are, like, also plant guns. I think there's, like, some plant knives here. Like, this is really cool. I like, it looks like some plant grenades.
Yeah, he's going full in on the biotech weaponry angle.
Yeah.
And it's sick.
It is sick, and we're going to see more of it in this issue. So, but back on Krakoa, Domino is still not too happy about what she just saw, but she's trying to find a way to San Francisco not using the gate.
Uh-huh.
Yep, we get our recap, and we are on to Beast and Sage, trying to figure this stuff out. They figure out the gate is pretty far from her, and she won't have enough time to make it there, and they decide that Gateway is a good idea.
Mm-hmm. Our good friend Gateway, who can also teleport, but doesn't like to say much while he does it. We also get a brand new look at some of Black Tom's new abilities, including using part of Krakoa to make a face for himself and talk to people.
Remind me who Black Tom was?
He is the gentleman that was trying to talk to Beast and Xavier about the plants, telling him things, how things are kind of off about the island, especially when the first mercenary group was coming in. And now he is kind of turning into, I can talk to the island and everything about it, and it gives me information. So it's almost like a security system.
Yeah, he's their plant security guard, man.
Okay, alright.
Yeah, he was a lot in the first 2 issues, and now he's kind of sat in the back a little bit up until this point. So, and we do get a data page on him, the uncertainty of Black Tom Cassidy. It's pretty long, but it essentially says that Black Tom is getting a lot stronger. He can talk to everything on Krakoa, and it gives him information. Unfortunately, it's also driving him a bit crazy, because it's a lot of info, and he can't really shut that info off.
That would do it.
Yeah. Didn't love this data page, actually. I don't think we needed this much of it.
It is on the lower end of data pages, I will give it that.
Yeah, it feels very narrative, like someone's trying to write a page out of a novella or something. I'm kind of a sucker for narrative, so it's kind of okay, but it's no data page.
Yeah.
It's more like just some, aside put into an extra page for space.
I do love the idea of a 50-foot monolith that looks like Juggernaut, though.
I do also like that, and he did it in his sleep, too, which I think is also fun.
I believe Benjamin Percy, before kind of coming over to comics, well, I think he actually still does this. I think he writes a lot of novels, so that might be kind of what we're seeing here.
I would fully believe that. Having read this, that makes sense.
Maybe. Yeah, I tend to like the kind of epistolary format data pages better.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like that gimmick.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's a really fun gimmick and a way to do it. But I also understand that comics are a limited format, so if you do need to get this information out there, this would be the quickest way to do it.
Yeah, if you really do want to write 500 words of writing, you can do it. There's a space for you in Krakoa.
Yeah.
Hey, there you go.
We got the format for you.
And speaking of Forge's wonderful mech, we get to see part of it here, or at least a variation of it, as he found Domino and is going to help her carry the rest of Wolverine, as he really does want to help out with this operation and his cool bug mech suit.
Yeah.
This one isn't nearly as cool as the one on the cover, but it's okay.
Yeah, I like it. It reminds me of like something it reminds me of like a suit from like an Avatar movie, except, made of plants.
It's more of an exoskeleton than a like mech.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
But it still works.
I do love the bug wings it has.
Yes, those are cool. Also, backing up a little bit, Domino is kind of commenting here about how her luck hasn't really been working as well. Like, it's still there. It's probably why she didn't get blown up, but it's not as strong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I understand it as a narrative thing, but I also feel like if you had to write Domino as a character, that's gotta be really hard to make her consistent with her luck.
Yeah, I would agree. Meanwhile, these soldier dudes are just killing people.
Killing a lot of folks, likely humans, and they have been tasked to pick up anything Krakoan. It doesn't matter what it is.
This feels like it could blow up in their faces.
It does, which it kind of does almost literally in the next page, because one of the mercs is very nervous about all of this, especially how fast the mutant response was, and the other merc who is trying to calm him down immediately gets stabbed through the chest by Wolverine, who is still bisected.
Yeah, Wolverine's torso, grinning like a madman.
He kind of jumps towards this guy, by which means of propulsion, I don't know.
I'm going
His very strong Canadian fists.
Yeah, I'm going to guess he somehow used his fist to propel himself here.
Mm-hmm.
It's either that or he has incredible core strength.
Yeah.
Which might be possible, because we did just see that Domino can't even carry his legs because of his adamantium skeleton, so he may just be incredibly strong.
This must be really painful, just as a by the way.
I imagine it is. Not, being cut off from below the waist. I imagine it's not fun.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the jumping didn't really work out. He ended up getting just filled full of bullet holes, and he looks pretty destroyed here. He kind of got annihilated by those bullets. He's definitely has to be dead now, right?
Definitely. I mean, most of his face is gone. Most of his head's gone in a couple of places.
Yeah.
I would assume he's very dead at this point.
Yeah, probably the end of our old pal Logan.
Yeah. A shame. It's a good thing we have Resurrection, though.
Yeah. Anyway, here's Forge, Domino, and Gateway.
And Wolverine's legs. Can't forget those.
He just brought them. I like Forge's large gun.
I also like Forge's just very large gun. He could
I
have
think
shaped
it's funny that Gateway joins the fray like this. I didn't imagine him fighting.
Yeah, I didn't either. I almost thought he was going to play a role similar to how he would in that the X-Men fight with Horde Culture, where he just hung out.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine the same. He's just like, I have to come here for my powers to work, so here I am. We also get a cut back to Beast and Sage here, as Beast wants them to keep at least one mercenary alive, because they need to find out what's been happening, and the best way to do that is to interrogate a live person. Unfortunately, Domino is very bloodthirsty at the moment, and she proceeds to kill most of them.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I think it's understandable that she would be like this. I do agree that it's not as strategic or considered to keep someone alive. But they're all like enemy combatants. And they just did
a lot
horribly butcher Wolverine and the other kid.
Yeah. Also a bunch of just
that I don't care much for.
Yeah. Also just a lot of regular people.
Yes.
So yeah, these dudes kind of have some blood on their hands.
Uh-huh. She's also using her new cool plant arm.
Yes, which is very cool. It's a gun, it's a shield, it's a sword of some kind, and it even seems to dig into this one person's face as she kills him, which is really grotesque. A very all-around weapon.
Yeah, there's a real fun way where these dudes kind of like try to zipline out of there. She turns it into a bunch of vines, pulls a guy down, slams him on the ground, then pulls him into a punch. And yeah, it's a really clever use of the plant arm. I'm glad we got to see it in action. I feel like we kind of got teased a little bit last issue, so I feel like it's living up to the hype here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I am kind of curious, Sergio, if you actually had any thoughts on this. Because throughout this whole thing, we have Beast trying to talk Domino out of killing these mercenaries, and he specifically says, hey, you can brutalize them, but don't brutalize them too much. Only brutalize them within reason. Coming into this, I know you kind of knew Beast a little bit as to who he was. Did you have any thoughts about what he's doing here?
Not really. I thought that line was very funny, if anything.
Yeah.
Really? Why?
Brutalize them, but not too much. I think that's just very funny to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can beat the shit out of them, but only to a point. So, but I bring that up because before all of this, growing up, I watched the X-Men 90s cartoon, and there's Beast there. But he's more of like a nice grandpa Beast than what we see here, where he is telling people, yeah, you can break their arms, beat the shit out of them, but you have to stop at some point, because we need them for interrogation. That is very different than the Beast that I knew before going into this, and it's a very weird change. I can see why he's doing it, because he's trying to be this security force, but it's such a weird twist of the character.
I can kind of see the path, like A to B, from his 90s cartoon self to this, considering how much edgier in general this Krakoa set of runs seems to be. I think it's a good fit for Beast to be the one that's like being strategic and like true to that side of his character, but also a little bit edgier, a little bit more willing to like give a little in terms of how much violence is needed. Like he's part of X-Force, so you kind of have to be like that to be in the cool kids club.
Yeah, the CIA club.
Yeah, exactly. No, I agree with you. That's what I meant when I was like, I can see the point from A to B, where it's like, okay, he is the logical, scientific one, so he knows how to get to point B. It's just explaining to the others how you need to get there. It comes across as very cold, but I can see it.
Yeah, I guess I haven't watched the 90s cartoon exhaustively or anything, but he never struck me as a complete like pacifist. So maybe that's what I'm missing. But I do see him like fitting this role well. Like the brainy strategist, the scientist, also understanding of what the island's going through and its politics, which seem very much aligned with this kind of violence at the moment, like retaliatory violence.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. So I was very curious to see what you thought of it. But going forward with the violence, we have Forge jumping through all the gunfire, picking up the half of Wolverine, and smashing them together with a nice, good sklunch sound.
Yeah, I don't know if this is in reference to this or not, but it kind of reminds me of when Ultimate Hulk ripped Ultimate Wolverine in two, except in reverse.
Nice. I didn't know that happened, but now that you say it, I would like to hope it is.
Yeah.
I think this is also very funny. All that's missing is like smushing a bunch of super glue in the middle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Or like taping him together or something. It's very silly.
But I guess the adamantium does the job.
Yeah, just stick him.
Is it the adamantium or is his regenerative abilities? Are they coming from somewhere else?
The healing factor is his own mutant ability.
Okay.
So yeah, his mutant powers, he basically has two. He has claws, and he has a very crazy healing factor. And then he got the adamantium later, and that just makes his bones metal.
Okay. Then it's the healing factor. The healing factor is the super glue in this case.
Yeah.
Yes, literally, actually. And
once again, I love the bug wings on the exosuit.
Yes, they're very good.
Yeah, they remind me a lot of the mechs from Aura Butler Dumbine, which is a show I just finished today. So I've got it in my mind. But all of its mech suits are based on bugs as well. And I think they're really reminiscent, or rather, this is very reminiscent of those.
Yeah, I really like the idea of just bugs. It almost reminds me of I am also watching a mech show called Beast Wars. I don't know if you've heard of it before. This kind of this gives me Waspinator vibes here.
A little known series called Transformers, of course.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, you know.
Mm-hmm. But speaking of little known things? No, that doesn't really work. Anyway, we're back with Gateway. He teleports into a helicopter above the facility here, and either beats up the pilot or teleports out the pilot. I'm not sure, but the helicopter crashes.
Yeah, I kind of also, Sergio, I'm just looking at these pictures now, and yeah, these are, yeah, I see why you are drawing the comparison here.
Yeah.
Also, those are cool looking mechs. Yeah, I was trying to figure out what was happening here too. I almost feel like he teleported the helicopter upside down.
Did he? I in the panel where they show up, like coming from the gate that he opened, he seems to have like lighting on his hands. I don't know if he has an additional power that he can attack with beyond creating gateways.
No, yeah, I think he just teleports. So
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he just did some sort of unclear violence to this pilot.
Yeah, I do love this panel of this person just asking who he is. Who the hell are you? As Gateway just looks terrifying. Like, Gateway is pissed.
Yeah, very different than how he was in X-Men.
Yeah, so the battle rages.
The battle keeps going, and Wolverine's alive, barely, as he is healing together while being held by the bug mech.
But considering the state he was in, he's very much alive.
And true, his head has grown back at this point, so he can at least speak.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Some soldier gets absolutely vaporized by Domino's gun, and the last soldier decides to surrender.
After seeing all of that, do not blame him. And there's a very close point here where Domino also almost just skewers this man, but is talked out of it by not only Beast, but by the Merc himself, as he says that he is not a meat puppet. He is not from the factory that we've seen before, but that he is an actual human being, a normal person.
I also want to note here, Domino's weapon of choice to kill this man was Wolverine claws, apparently.
A very personal, up-close weapon.
Yeah.
Makes sense with how mad she is.
Yeah, we should point out that we are not really told whether she spared this man or not until like a couple of pages from now. There's like a very harsh cut to after the battle where she's talking with Wolverine, and it isn't until that conversation that we find out that she actually did spare this person.
Yeah. Like, it's a very tense scene. This man is doing, like, he's just trying to humanize himself in her eyes. Like, this was just the job I took. This is all of the character things. I'm a real person. Please don't kill me.
Uh-huh. And he's still trying to do it while in captivity.
Yeah.
And before we get to when he is in captivity, we do have a moment here with Domino and Wolverine as they're on a cliff on Krakoa at sunset, just kind of talking together about the traumas that they have gone through, and that the only way to really numb the pain is to drink. Very depressing moment for both of them.
Uh-huh.
Also, Sergio's favorite character, Quentin, will be back soon.
Mm-hmm.
Yay.
So you don't have to be sad for much longer.
Woohoo.
But back to this Burke who is now going to be interrogated. We have a good point here from Beast where this man is trying to beg to be able to call his neighbor so his neighbor can take care of his dog. When Beast points out, you heartlessly murdered a lot of people. You don't get the benefit of having somebody taking care of your dog.
Yeah, I don't think it's such a good point when the person you're arguing with is kind of Swiss cheese ideologically. But yeah, he is right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we do get a bit more that we know that these mercenaries, at the very least, were not anti-mutant oriented. They're hired to go after the 1%, or the very top of the line. And this happens to be the mutants at this point. So they have Jean look into his mind to verify all of this, and she does. Also finding out that they were hired by a man who did not give them a name, but that he has a peacock tattoo.
Yeah, I don't buy politically neutral mercenaries as a concept, but okay.
I believe that they believe that they are politically neutral.
Yeah.
They can say it does not have to be true, but I can believe that that is on their business card.
Sure.
We get a data page about the mercs here. There's some mercs. Apparently Beast reached out to them about their service, didn't tell the rest of X-Force. I think the kind of the interesting thing of note here is apparently Krakoa coming into existence apparently de-escalated a lot of conflicts around the world.
Yeah, I noted that as well, which I thought was kind of odd and interesting at the same time. I feel like it makes sense politically how you can get to that point of, oh, there's a new superpower in the world. We should probably focus on that instead. And therefore, the byproduct of all of these wars ending was that you have a lot of people who only know how to fight, and that's what they're going to sell. So that's why these mercenary groups popped up. Sure. I don't know if we needed that much information or backstory for these fellas, but hey, I'll take it.
Yeah, and that takes us to the end of this issue.
A fine issue. It was really more cathartic for Domino, I would say, just to be able to get her anger out on these folks. We also get to see how X-Force can come together in a time of crisis at this point. I thought it was okay. Really violent, which is what X-Force has billed itself as up to this point, so it's following through on that. I think it's fine.
Yeah.
Not good, not bad.
This was a lot of fight scene, and I think with the action in this, I think was done pretty well. It was cool seeing them kind of have some get back after the last issue ended with them seeming like they were about to take just a complete loss.
Yeah, that was nice, actually, to see that, yes, the portal did go down, and yes, one of them was killed, the other was almost killed. But that wasn't the end. They did have workarounds, so that was actually very cool to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I generally continue to enjoy how things are set up and resolved in like 2 or 3 issue arcs, which I think is refreshing and not requiring a lot of commitment in reading these things. I guess we're ready to move on to something that's adjacent to what we just saw, but not necessarily immediately following up on threats established on this issue, which I think is nice for me, who doesn't have to keep up a lot on what's going on.
Yeah, you know what? Now that you're putting it that way, I think that's a good way to look at it. You get action, you get what's going on. There's a bigger threat clearly being built here with the man with the peacock tattoo, but I highly doubt we're going to see these mercs again. You know, I highly doubt we're going to go back to San Francisco again. We're going to go on to something else next issue.
Yeah, I think the pacing is just generally very brisk. We got Xavier being assassinated, then that got resolved in like 3 issues. We got the big cliffhanger last month with Wolverine being cut in half. That got resolved the next issue. And that does really work for me.
Mm-hmm. And it's... how do I put this? It's a brisk pace, but it's not so fast as, let's say, Excalibur, where everything is moving at light speed, and it almost feels too fast.
Yeah, I can see that. I kind of had to calibrate my expectations for Excalibur in a way I didn't have to for this one. Yeah.
So,
Right.
Are you okay?
I know.
Do you need a break?
This is issue number 5 of 6 of Fallen Angels, but we can do it.
Oh yeah, you can really feel that they realize that we only had a couple issues left of this. I believe this.
No, go ahead.
I believe this was not planned. I think around at this point it was announced this was ending at issue 6.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Chris, I have a challenge for you.
Okay, what is your challenge?
I want you to summarize this issue in 5 sentences or less.
5 sentences or less.
They can be as long as you want, but I want them to
Okay.
be 5 sentences or less.
Okay. X-23 gets a group together. They meet up with Psylocke and decide to all go fight Apoth for reasons. Also, we find out that there was an old lady that really beat up Psylocke when she was young, and she's okay with dying, because that meant she lived on forever in the hatred of Psylocke. Oh, also, Saudi Arabia is just kind of decimated because of Apoth. Don't worry about it.
The United Arab Dubai.
Sorry.
Uh,
Dubai.
Different
My
country.
apologies. Oh, sorry. It was that. That was my bad.
Okay, I think that was 4.
I counted 3.
Okay, you got 2 more.
I got 2 more. For some reason, Psylocke feels that she has taught X-23 well enough to have broken the cycle of anger that started her life. Is this earned? We'll find out.
Okay.
All right.
Does that
we're done
satisfy
here.
it? Okay, we're done? All right, wrapping up the podcast, everybody.
Yeah. This sure is another issue of Fallen Angels.
It sure is. On the first page of Fallen Angels, at the bottom 3 panels is the same exact picture twice. And then the third one, the eyebrows are a little different. That's it.
Yeah, so in this first page here, we get a little talk as we're forming our new group. We got Husk, our favorite Husk from Powers of X, or Dawn of X, I forgot which one, both, who we couldn't figure out the power for. I guess she's on this team now, as well as Bling, whose skin is made of diamond, is what we will learn. Bling comments that she doesn't trust this place, and I feel like people are saying that a lot in this series, and it's to a point where it doesn't feel character exclusive anymore. It's just like the attitude of everyone in this series.
Uh-huh.
Yes. A lack of trust seems to be your ticket to get into this series, and then you're just kind of there.
Yeah. It's like, I don't trust this place, and I'm like, okay, I get it, but why? Like, I feel like I'm projecting onto the characters now.
No, absolutely. Because even I looked into both Husk and Bling, which, fun to note for Bling, the exclamation point is part of her name, so you do have to write it every time. She doesn't have all that much to her. She was introduced in 2005. She was around a lot for that era of X-Men comics. That's about it. I don't see a reason for her to be distrustful here in this comic. Or even going into this not having looked any of that up. I feel like she should have more of an explanation for why she doesn't trust everything. You know, did something happen? Is there a leader she doesn't trust? Is there something else going on here?
Sergio, quick question. Do you know who Husk is related to?
No. Who is she related to?
This is, the sister of Cannonball from New Mutants.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is she like a half sister or
no,
like full
that's
sister?
just her full sister. That's they grew up together. And like early New Mutants, you will like sometimes Cannonball will go back home and you can see Paige before she got powers there.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Can she turn them off?
No, she had a whole thing where her brother was a mutant. She was really jealous about that fact, so she wanted to be a mutant, but she didn't have powers for a really, really long time until she found out her power was to shed her skin. And underneath that, she could make a lot of different substances. It can be diamond, it can be snake skin, it could be a whole slew of other things.
Okay, that's fun.
Yeah.
I was like, that's a fun power. That's a weird one.
Yeah, but it's not like gross or anything. She's fine.
Mm-hmm. But I didn't even know that she was related to Cannonball until Tim just said something, and I've read all of these comics, so that kind of shows you where this is going. So since we kind of did give a summary of what's going on, I don't know how much we can actually talk about this, because it is a lot of talk in the comic about stuff that absolutely does not feel earned.
Yeah, I guess we can go like quickly through it.
Yeah.
Kate gets a version of the Apod ship that can be used to track Apod.
Yeah, it's like the overclock thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
She experiences a lot of pain to test it because this is Fallen Angels.
Yeah, the sentence is, to test it, I need to separate your consciousness from your body. The most efficient way to do that is through pain, extreme pain. And I'm just, why? I don't understand what's happening. Like,
she then goes into the final scene of The Matrix where you see the New York City being turned into
the code,
the green, code. Yes, except this one's pink, and it's not New York. It's Dubai.
Yeah, Dubai. I think this is one of the cooler. I actually don't hate this page.
Yeah, it was cool when it happened on The Matrix.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, it was. Is it cool here? Comparative to the rest of Fallen Angels, maybe.
Yeah, I like the scene of her face kind of blowing up. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta compliment when you can.
It's
Yeah,
true.
yeah. We get a glimpse of Apoth here, kind of laying waste to Dubai.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I want to mention that the weird angel thing she saw yesterday is like she thinks is like the opposite of Apoth or something. They have a talk about that it might be God, and there's some just
It's really
some
confusing.
weird religion talk about like what X-23 thinks of God. I don't know. All of it just doesn't feel natural.
It feels one step removed from a conversation you would see in the atheism subreddit.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. And it's a trend in Fallen Angels. Same with the whole distrust thing. There's always these allusions to religion and God, but it doesn't really go anywhere. It's just sort of there.
Yeah, I don't know. It's this whole thing where you have X-23 asking why the God thing that might not actually be God doesn't stop Apoth. There's also just a odd kind of through line here of everyone being like, hey, you don't have to stop this guy. This can just be a human problem. Which just seems very at odds with the rest of the series so far.
Yeah, that's just not something anyone would say.
No, not at all.
Uh,
I'm pretty sure if anyone mentioned this to any other mutant besides the ones who are distrustful, something would happen, and Apoth would have been a problem, for yesterday. He would have been dealt with.
Uh-huh.
We get a flashback of Quanon killing her teacher from the hand, followed by a double header data page here that's written in like poem form of her sensei talking about how she raised Quanon and then Quanon's gonna kill her, and that will be good. Actually,
Uh-huh. There's a bit with Betsy who's not actually there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, okay, hold on. So, the dual data page from the journals of the teacher could have been a few sentences. Again, it's the thing where, like, I get what they're doing. The teacher's like, I will break these children, and through their anger in me, I will live forever. It didn't need to be 2 pages. It really didn't.
This is like the philosophy of, like, Darth Sidious.
Yeah, but worse. Way worse. And then you get this whole sequence with Betsy and Quanon where they're mimicking each other's movements, and Quanon basically ends it with, we are still together. I can't blame you, but I also cannot forgive you until I can no longer feel you. Where did that come from? Betsy has been in like a few panels, and then we've just been dealing with all of this weird God stuff. Where did all of this sudden, hey, maybe I'll forgive you one day even come from?
Yeah, so I think the story here is that Hill got another job and was like, all right, let's pull the plug on this. It's not exactly doing gangbusters either way. And
really, I'm shocked it's not doing well.
So you kind of just get this like quickly just slamming through like all the plot threads that we needed to. And yeah, it comes off a bit clunky, a bit rushed.
I think a bit there is doing a lot of lifting in your sentence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Nice little training thing here with X-23 and the rest of the team. Psylocke goes to war, says some stuff to the team about how if they trust her, she will give their life down, like for them. She will kill to protect them. Bling makes a comment about her being dramatic, which is the closest that any character comes to relatable here.
Yeah, it's true.
And then Magneto shows up and gives them a ship.
Yeah, Magneto says, here's a ship. We're just lifts it out of the
Have fun.
ground. Says, hey, go have fun. You gotta go save the children. I would save the children, but I'm not for some reason. You don't have to ask permission anymore. Why does she need permission still?
Yeah, I thought people could just leave again, because they were. Xavier should be back alive by this point.
Look, Mother is here.
Yeah.
I'm tired, you guys. I'm really tired.
Okay, I'm here to give you the gift of not having to talk about this anymore.
We did it. That's Fallen Angels. We have one more issue.
Yeah, I did want to mention, since you were talking about the author, we got sent this tweet from the author, written in 2021, as far as I can tell. He's replying to, he's like quote tweeting another message that says, what's a job you dreamed about doing as a child that as an adult you realize you would have been terrible at? And he is just writing X-Men comics. Sorry, LOL, we had to find that out together.
Yeah, everything I've gathered, I have actually, I have been watching watched a show called Titans. And in this show, I was looking at the writer's credits, and I was like, oh, that's our boy. He just wrote this show, or wrote an episode of this show, I guess. So that was kind of interesting to see. He does a lot better job with that than Fallen Angels. Yeah.
Yeah, I fully expect him to have other stuff he's proud of.
Yeah.
And it's actually good.
Yeah.
Maybe this just wasn't a good fit.
I'm guessing, yeah. I don't know really what happened here. Maybe this just wasn't his medium.
Yeah, I'm glad he got out if this wasn't like the thing he wanted it to be. Yeah.
Yeah, this it was kind of interesting because this was originally announced as being a hiatus. They just said this book was going to go on hiatus for a little bit. It will still have a conclusion. Don't you worry. We will get an end to this story. But
I'm so excited.
Yeah. So, but yeah, spoilers. It doesn't come back.
No. What are we gonna do?
Probably replace it with something else.
Oh, most likely.
Most likely, and probably something better. So I mean, I do kind of feel bad for Brian Hill, especially after that tweet. I'm sure it would have been really exciting to be like, hey, I get to write the X-Men. This is going to be fun. And then realizing it's just not your thing.
Yeah,
and it's public, too.
He got it out of his system.
Yeah, you get to try new things. Sometimes you got to try new things.
True, but on a very public platform like this that everybody is supposed to read seems like the worst way to find that out.
Yeah, I do feel bad. That can't be fun. But yeah, like I truly don't want to like attack this guy's character. I'm sure he's a fine person, but I'm sure he's a talented person who's done a lot of good things. But yeah, I don't think this is one of them.
Yeah.
Oh. Comics are not your thing, buddy. Sorry.
Or maybe just X-Men's not his thing,
Or maybe just X-Men. I don't know. You said Titans was good, right?
Well, I'm
okay.
Like, okay, Titans is good for what it is, especially in that 4th season, but like as a whole.
Okay, which may or may not be his fault.
I
said it was an episode.
Yeah, it's just an episode. Like I don't think the writing in that episode was bad. So like I'm going to say any faults of that shows are not faults of him.
Okay, and sometimes that's the nicest thing you can say about someone.
Yeah.
Man, I'm excited to see where this ends because I have not read the final issue of Fallen Angels, so I'm morbidly curious.
What about you, Sergio? Are you excited for Fallen Angels number 6?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to how it ends.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I feel like this has been going off the rails for a little bit, and it's been losing me for a little bit. But yeah, this issue 5 is just, yep, that's Fallen Angels, all right.
That sure is a comic book right there. Sure is.
Yeah. Sometimes things get cancelled or are like rushed to an ending, and that helps them like not have to linger as much on like the boring parts. So maybe it does go somewhere next week.
Yeah, it can be like the after war Gundam X of the X-Men line.
Yeah. God, I totally forgot you had seen that.
Yeah.
You haven't seen that.
I haven't.
You should watch that.
I have watched some of it, but not all of it.
You should finish Gundam X.
Yeah,
It's so good.
I've heard very good things about it. I trust your judgment on Gundam at this point. So one of these days, I own it. It's on Blu-ray. It's sitting on my nightstand currently. I just haven't gotten around to it.
Okay.
Hey, how about to celebrate the end of Fallen Angels, you watch it?
Do you want to watch it too?
I don't think I'm far enough to be able to watch it, unfortunately.
Oh, it's okay. It's a standalone.
Oh, then yeah, sure, I'll watch it.
All right, there we go.
God, I think you're fine watching it. Yeah, I think you should be fine watching it.
Okay, well, before we turn ourselves into a Gundam podcast,
Chris
do you guys want to wrap up?
Yeah. Chris just
All
accidentally
right.
talked herself into watching a Gundam series. I'm so sorry.
Hey, you know what? I watched the first Gundam series, and it was really good. I'm watching Zeta. I have 2 left. That is something. We'll figure it out. And I'm currently watching Witch from Mercury, and that is phenomenal. So
Oh, you'll
I have no regrets.
you'll have fun with Double Zeta. Okay. No more Gundam talk.
Okay, no more Gundam talk. Okay. All right. So
I'm containing myself.
I know you are. I can feel it. If you are looking for us on any social media platform, you can find this podcast on Twitter and on Tumblr at Study of X. If you want to send us any questions or comments or even your thoughts on Gundam, you can do so by sending us an email at studyofx@gmail.com, and we may read it here on the podcast. And because you have gotten so far with us, thank you. If you could leave a review on your podcasting app of choice, that would be great. It really helps us to be able to find more people to read along with us and learn more about the X-Men. Now, if you're looking for each of us individually, you can find me at Sonics on Twitter. That is SAWNEEKS. I don't post there much anymore, but if you need to get in contact with me, that's the best way of doing so. And Sergio, if they are looking for your hot takes on Gundam, where can they find you?
I don't think there are as many hot takes on my Twitter anymore. I barely post same. But you can find me at Fireblend, FIREBLEND, or the other podcast that I do, which is Stray Reads, a book club podcast.
And Tim, if they are looking for you about what upcoming Gundam movies to watch and maybe what TV shows to watch, where can they find you?
Oh, I'm glad you asked. You see, I've analyzed the overclock device I was graciously shared with, and if APOF uses it as a gateway to minds, I have made it possible as a gateway to APOF. To test it, I will need to separate my consciousness from my body. The most efficient way to do that is through pain. Extreme pain.
Oh, God.
Oh, boy. Well, that's where you can find Tim, somewhere between extreme pain and the digital landscape of the Matrix.
The pink one.
Yeah.
Yes, the pink one, not the green one. If you're at the green one, you're at the wrong one.
Yeah, you've gone to the cooler one, man. I don't know what to tell you. You gotta go to the pink one.
All right.
Alrighty, well, until next time. Later, mutants.
Bye.